Welcome to episode 2 of Lonely Hours of the Boys podcast. As you can see, our intro is just as discontorted as ever. We've already given up. We've already become a meme channel. It's been 5 minutes and we're already trying to be clones of Red Owl without the quality of editing. Share Factory gang, all the way.
Share Factory. Oh, who's texting me? Hang on.
This is max level professionalism in here.
It's the live stream. Don't worry about it.
We are live.
Good memes.
Good memes, good memes.
Great.
It's working. Brilliant, brilliant. Right. I think we'll start off with probably the most interesting one of them all, because we got quite a few things to talk about. We got quite a few things to talk about today. I think we should start off with Rambonautica, because Amy's not sure what it is. You know more about it than I do, bro. So go ahead and talk.
Alright, so there's this app that's surfaced recently, and you know, if you're anything like me, you love a good conspiracy theory. And there's this app called Rambonautica. Now, I'm sure most people have heard of it by now. It's been doing the rounds on TikTok, of all places. Imagine TikTok's the place for conspiracy theories. But anyways, this app, it basically reads your mind, essentially. You pick like a reason for going to a certain place, so you pick a motive or a reason for randomness, and the app will give you random coordinates of a nearby area.
That.
Yeah, random coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it's given itself a bit of a creepy name. It's made it a bit of a creepy name for itself, and I'm not sure if many of you know about the incident in Seattle. And there's a channel that I read, a guy called Nexpo, brilliant dude. Goes way more into it than we will. But there was an incident in Seattle where a group of teens were using the app, and their intention was death. And they stumbled across a bag containing human remains.
Mm.
And it was like big news over in Seattle, and everyone was like pointing fingers at the app, and the app got a load of conspiracy, like, oh, it's the serial killer logbook. But like, I love this sort of conspiracy theory shit, and like, if you guys know of any really good ones, like, you gotta let me know. Like, what's the best one you've heard? Like, because this Rambonautica thing at the moment is probably my favourite.
Well, the question is, do you think it's actually a thing? Like, do you think it's just like a big
I think it's for sure a hoax. For sure a hoax.
A hoax. Well, the thing is I don't think the teenagers actually left the remains there. Maybe it could have been just a massive coincidence. Maybe. You never know. Yeah.
But I mean, ever since the Seattle incident, there's been a lot of, you know, it's become almost a trend. Really faking creepy shit. But that's everything.
I was gonna say that's usually what happens with you know, when something becomes a trend, it loses like its authenticity in a way, because people just use it. You know, it's like you know, the creepy fucking shit at like 3 AM, like, oh, calling Chuck E. Cheese at 3 AM, and like, what?
Oh yeah, no,
yeah. When,
they
like,
were hilarious though. So, some of them were like really out there.
Yeah, it is out there, but like, if you kind of think back to like before, like, people saw it as a trend, as a way to get clout and views quickly, like you know, you could convince some people that it was real, you know, like, you could. But now, the second it becomes a trend, it's like, oh shit, people are just milking it dry. So, but it is interesting to like hear different theories about it.
No. But anyway, Lewis downloaded the app. It wanted microtransactions, I swear.
Yeah, so there was basically, when I got onto it, there was this thing called owl
points.
points.
The most spookiest thing about it, to be fair.
It was stupid. It was just, you'd think that it was just an app that was, it used geolocation. It was all about generating a random place for you to go, like a dead spot, basically, is what they called it. So you go to a place that's not really seen. For some reason, they all seem to be around the back of primary schools. I think this is actually a police sting to catch paedophiles. But anyway, because I did it 3 times, and 2 of them were behind primary schools, and the other one was behind a church. So it's paedophile central. But I find it was really weird, because you get 3 free goes, and then it goes, oh, you know, you need owl points to, you know, generate your Rambonautica place. I was like, oh, okay, clicked it. £5 for 10.
Mad.
That's 3 goes on the Rambonautica. It's like, are you being serious? Bro, if I want to go somewhere
Dude,
random,
what?
I'll just like click somewhere randomly on Google Maps. I don't need to do
I was gonna
your
say,
bullshit.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, why don't you just get like high or drunk or something and just like grab the like little Google guy thing, just
But only
throw it
ours
on
with
the
the Boys
map.
podcast does not promote drugs.
We don't,
It
but
doesn't promote it in
if you
small
want
quantities,
to
only in large quantities, you pussy.
Yeah, say no to drugs.
what we are saying is there are free ways to do this kind of shit, and you won't always have to go to a primary school for whatever reason, or elementary
No,
school
unless
if
you
you're
want to,
American.
whatever you're into.
We don't support that. Say we don't support it.
We're neither here or there on it. No, we don't support going to random primary schools at night because number one, it's a bit weird. Number two, you're probably going to get put on a list. So it's yeah. So that app's kind of fucking weird. But you got any other conspiracy theories, bro? Or should we see if we've got any?
I mean, well, that was the thing. That was the one I recently heard about. And obviously, I'd seen some videos. I mean, TGF even covered it. It was, I mean, that was a pretty funny video. Again, but I don't know if TGF fake some of their videos. I mean, I'm sure they do, some of them. Because some of them are just... The sheer quantity of shit they have on their channel that's like... Haunted Doll Challenge or whatever, it's like...
Yeah, and it doesn't make it any less
But
entertaining, but...
No, of course, they're still entertaining videos, but... I feel like YouTubers get a bad rep for faking shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like nowadays everything's looked at with some degree of... This is bullshit.
Oh no, definitely. Like even
Well, I
if
think
it's
that's
something
part of the
real.
fun of it as well. It's like if you kind of suspend your disbelief for like half an hour and just lose yourself on these rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, it's like it's definitely a way to spend an evening. It's but no, I mean do you guys have any that you remember or ones that have stuck with you?
I remember this is a very popular one, and I kind of want to get your opinions on it. What do you think about, like, obviously we kind of all know about like the I'll say Illuminati, the Illuminati.
The Illuminatis.
Yeah, we've all heard of it, right? We've all heard the conspiracy theories behind it and all this stuff, right?
New World Order, lizard people. Oh, it's good fun. It's good times.
I wouldn't say lizard people, but like I guess in terms of more.
Mark Zuckerberg, definitely lizard man.
The ones of celebrities I would kind of talk about more is the fact that, like, do you think that celebrities, because like obviously people are like, oh, these are trends, like they say that when a celebrity is accepted into in the Illuminati, they give a speech at an award ceremony and they wear a red outfit, like Beyonce and then what Taylor Swift did and all this stuff, right? And you know, there's symbolism everywhere, like. Do you think that people actually like fucking make a deal with some sort of demonic force or something to get fame and wealth and do sacrifices and all this shit?
I mean, I know people get up to some weird shit in their pastime, you know, like me especially.
Don't say that.
I think that some people in those scenarios, I actually think that something like that could exist, but I don't think that the entity exists. So what I think it is I think there's these groups that do effectively feel like they're supernatural. These people who can give you money, wealth and fame, and they're in these tight circles, and they believe that they're part of this big... oh, this spirit gave us this power, give in, and it's all about making it a cult type deal because they've existed in the past.
Yeah.
They've been exposed as being real before, but I think what it is it's more people meeting people who already have money and then them using that to get power. So in a way, it's a demonic, like it's a spiritual weird thing as you spiritually know people, but all it is in reality is people using other people for money and they get something out of it as well.
Yeah, it's like kind of like the idea of like how cults work, like people who are in part of like serious, like either religious cults or demonic cults or whatever, like they generally believe it's real whatever they're preaching, because when you're in a community like that who all seriously believe it or are convincing you to believe it, like you're gonna believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's something to do with like the human brain is so interesting and stupid at the same time, but it's basically like it's like adapting to the environment around you. So if everyone around you has these such like strong and like bizarre beliefs about like, oh, this is a demonic spirit, and like if you want to get famous, then you have to do this ceremony, this, and you will see this happening. And they do it, and they think, oh my god, wow, this is happening, when they think it's a demonic spirit, but it could just be coincidence, or people higher up pulling the strings to keep control, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like the je ne sais quoi of like those 3 a.m. challenges, like repost this or this ghost girl will appear at your bed at like 3 in the morning.
Like this Facebook post, or you're going to hell.
They're just on a more high budget, I guess.
Yeah, high budget.
Guys, leave a like or the dark web.
High budget Satanism. Hell yeah.
That's the ultimate Satanism.
I don't always Satanism, but when I do it on a budget.
See, we do it in style, okay? We have a
we do it in style, bro.
I got standards.
Yeah, man.
Listen, guys, we have a theme here, okay?
Okay, next question then. If you were to start a cult, what's like if you were going to make a cult, right, and you're actually going to have like followers, you're going to set it up. Tell me about your religion, and I want to see if like I would join your cult.
Right,
and I want you both to have a go at this.
Mine's based on a conspiracy theory. We drop all religion, we drop all culture, and we simply base all of our future actions off what The Simpsons says. Because fuck me, those cunts get things right all the time.
Yeah,
what would you name the cult?
Homie!
The Simps.
The Simps, yeah, the Simps. Belle Delphine banners everywhere.
I mean, we might have to apply for copyright on the word Simps.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, it's owned by Mark Zuckerberg.
Like, say we were on like a really high budget as well. Like, we've got the same budget as like,
the Illuminati.
These really like high class. I mean, like, look at Scientology. They've got backing, bro.
Yeah, that's a really big cult.
Well, I don't know shit about Scientology, but I know they got...
It's a cult. It's a fucking cult. It's a cult disguising itself as a religion, that's what it is.
Yeah, come on, but you have to be fair though, fucking... Scientology itself is fucking bizarre, especially people who believe it, like seriously believe it,
Yeah, they're not just doing it for money.
What about your cult? What are you saying?
If I was to create a cult, just because... there's so many things about fucking humanity which I absolutely just hate. I would create a cult saying that basically there is a place in death, so basically kind of like religion, so the idea that when you die you go to either paradise or you suffer for eternity, but the way this works is you have to show the utmost respect and protect children and animals and respect it. You cannot do a loophole. If you do a loophole, they're gonna find you and get your ass. Because I just hate how people just treat, animals and, children especially, and, I don't like kids myself, but, I would definitely use the fear factor just to get people to stop acting like a fucking shitty human being, but simultaneously, unknowing to them, having cameras and microphones everywhere, so if they were to hurt someone and go against the rules, they'd just be fucking killed. They'd be killed, but reality is they'll just be sent away and tortured for the rest of their life. Simple.
So,
and that creates, it just creates the
You're going to Brazil. No!
Vegan feminist cult.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's some definite truth in Amy's cult as well, especially the fact that she doesn't like kids. Yeah, just the way that you were playing Life is Strange the other day. Like, her whole commentary was just, I want to deck this 10-year-old.
No, people who played Life is Strange can agree that Daniel is a fucking little shit sometimes. I don't care that he's 9 and 10. You want to smack him sometimes. But...
my man's vibing with 2 ages.
Like kids doesn't mean I like it when people seriously abuse them or torture them or use them for child sacrificing or some shit, or fucking anti-vaxxers, for example. Go fuck yourself.
Ah, it's fucked up.
Exactly. So would
all
you
my homies hate anti-vaxxers.
It was like that monkey one that me and Lewis, you were there for when we were watching that monkey one. The monkey playlists on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's some fucked up shit.
That was really weird though. Like,
it's some fucked up. It's weird, but it's
some
fucked up shit. It really is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a YouTube channel called Kill Baby Monkeys, and they create a playlist that is basically I'm not going to describe the things that happen because nothing actually happens, but he titles videos like some of them are just completely innocent people filming their baby monkeys, like just ones they own. But he takes the videos and names them things that are fucked up, and there's people in the comments that are like sadistic as fuck. Like commenting things like, "Oh, you know, I want to crush that baby monkey's head" and shit like that. It's like, damn, Daniel, like, have you got nothing better to do? 4chan's looking into it at the moment, though, so they're going to probably get exposed and get
the
fingered.
4chan stands there.
That's just
We
fucked.
salute
I
you,
will never
soldiers. You do
understand that.
God's work. It's much better than
like-
the pool in
Yeah,
Habbo
to all the
Hotel.
4chaners out there that take part in these raids and shit.
We respect you.
salute you.
Please don't hack my channel.
If you join my cult and you do that, you'll be given the best treatment imaginable.
Yeah,
That's
4chan,
king shit, bro.
4chan,
That's king
4chan,
shit.
4chan
Exactly,
is a
that's
cult,
king
but they war with each other. That's why Pole is always going to war with other people, with Dash B and everything. So, yeah, but they're looking into it. But yeah, that's some weird
Didn't Michael
fucked up
Jackson
shit.
have like a baby monkey?
Yeah, he did. But he had a couple. He had most famous one is Bobo, which he's still alive actually.
Oh, yes.
His sister has it now.
Who else
yeah.
had like? I think Justin
Robin-
Bieber had a baby monkey at one point.
Yeah,
as well.
Robin Williams had a gorilla.
Coco?
Yeah, Coco, the one that could talk.
No, Coco wasn't his. He just visited Coco a lot.
But still, close connection with her.
Still. Harambe.
Harambe, yeah, rest in peace, Harambe.
Harambe.
Still hurts to this
R.I.P.
day.
Harambe.
Dude,
Can we get an
this
F in
is
chat for
typical-
Harambe?
I wanted to make a
Dude,
joke
this is
then,
that
but I
shit
really
just
can't
so-
say that. I'm just gonna, without saying the joke, I'm just gonna put it in our chat, and then you could laugh, and then 10 million
Oh,
likes,
man.
and 10 million likes, and I'll say the joke.
10 million likes and I'll put it on Twitter.
Guys, get to 100k subscribers.
That's what I was gonna say to Harambe.
What are you going to say to Harambe? You can't say that, bro.
I know, I can't say that, but let's move on. Let's move on. Anyway, should we? I had a little topic for the podcast we could do, kind of a little section, mini section. It's only one story long, but it's just a random bit of news from the week, just a random thing that I found. I found something the other day, and I find it quite funny, but I also want to get your opinion on it to an extent. There's a woman in Suffolk who is suing her school for £450, right? Because
Only 450.
only 450 because she's the mother. She sends her children there. Her children are vegetarian,
Okay.
and
God.
the school fed the child normal chicken nuggets, but they weren't aware that the kid didn't eat meat. It's not allergic to meat. It doesn't have any reaction. Doesn't get sick on meat like some people do. Just straight up, just doesn't do it because it's the mum's decision. The kid didn't know. Simple as that. The mum only found out when he came home and said that the daughter had chicken, and he went, "Oh, okay, time to beat the food." The mum is saying that these people are, disgusting, and they shouldn't have let their daughter do that. But the school's simply arguing that you never told us that they didn't eat it, otherwise we would have respected your thing. So it's kind of like, what I think it's kind of cut and dry, but what's your guys' opinion?
That's
I
just fucking
see.
stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. I mean, she should have notified the school first, and the school would have taken the necessary things. But if the
Here's
school wasn't
thing.
notified, that's on her, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm guessing this is primary school, right?
Yeah, it is a primary school in Suffolk.
Yeah, as someone who has like a nut allergy, I remember in primary school they very much say, and also for children of religion as well, because obviously certain religions don't eat certain meat and stuff, and children follow it. I know for a lot of primary schools they basically say to the parents, if your kid can't eat a certain food item because of allergies, because of religious beliefs, or just because of own personal beliefs, you have to let us know. And if you don't let them know, then you are at liability and not them. Because that's basically saying like, okay, say like, you go to like a restaurant, right? Say for me, for example, I have a nut allergy, I go to Five Guys. I know very well that Five Guys serves everything in peanut oil. I go have a meal and then have a severe reaction to peanut oil. That's like me trying to sue Five Guys because I ate there but didn't inform them I had a nut allergy. Does that make sense?
When they make it clear.
It's really dumb.
But
I mean,
yeah, it's dumb.
You know, for those, well, you guys know this, but people won't know this. I used to work as a butcher, and that's sort of the food industry. And when you work in the food industry, you have to take certain courses. I actually took e-learning courses on allergens, foodstuffs, preparation, storage. I literally had like another GCSE almost. It was insane. I mean, it was multiple choice, so it wasn't bad. But allergy shit is a big deal, and it is specified. Like, obviously, it's retail and not a school, and we have signage up saying if you have an allergy, let the staff know.
Yeah.
So really, it's up to the customer to tell us whether or not they have allergies, and all foodstuffs have the ingredients labelled, and all the ingredients that are potential allergens, you know, like fish, eggs, you know, poultry, all this other kind of shit, has to be labelled, and labelled in bold, and it's on the packaging. And if it's not on the packaging, then we can actually be sued for lots and lots of money. So
actually, you can't be sued technically. It's more like the company that provides that to you. I know this because in my workplace, I work in cinema, so obviously we deal with food as well.
We're liable because we sold the product.
The stuff. There is also the stuff that he packages as well.
Yeah, if the company who packaged it gives it to us and we don't check our packaging, and then we sell it on, then we're just as bad as the company.
The thing is, we had a similar incident in it was like another cinema. I'm obviously not going to name the company, but basically a kid had gluten or something, bought popcorn.
Pussy.
And usually it's like he was allergic to something and he had such a severe reaction to the popcorn because they asked if the popcorn was gluten free, and usually it is, but the packaging lied, and the company who actually provided it, they do other things, and it actually became like contagious. So it had, I don't know how, but it had gluten in it, and
cross contamination.
Well, yeah, that's cross-contamination.
Yeah, the kid died.
The kid died, laughs. Jesus Christ.
No, I don't mean that, but like, the kid
Yeah, I know,
died
but-
because they asked if it was gluten-free, and we said, it wasn't my cinema, it was a different cinema in the country. They said yes because the packaging said so, but that
I'm imagining they were sued to high heaven.
The cinema, no. The company itself, yes, because it's the company's reliability for the packaging. Because you yourself, as the place, can't always check the packaging that comes in. You have to rely on the actual packaging itself. So if I open the popcorn, so for example, the popcorn that comes in, it comes in its own packaging, its own labels. We open it, we put it in the warmers, we serve it into a box, whatever. We give it to go, done. Technically, yes, we could be sued because we package it to the customer or the guest, whatever. But the actual packaging itself, or the actual information on it, was done by the company. So the company was sued to like shit. Honest to God.
Well, I mean, like, we made a lot of homemade stuff as well. Like, we had homemade sausages, as well as we sold like company branded sausages. So, for example, Booth's was our biggest supplier for sausages, and they're a company up north. And again, all of their sausages are gluten free, and they say it on the packaging, which is, you know, standard. But with our homemade shit, we need to know where we get our ingredients from, you know, all the ingredients got to be labelled up. We actually have an allergen book which specifies everything we make and exactly what's in it. And if a customer asks, then we provide that information, like no problem at all. We've got signage up saying ask us. But really, we aren't mind readers. If you knowingly go, knowing you have an allergy, right, and don't specify it when you're purchasing a product that you know might have shit in it, that's on you. But I think it's interesting in the school's case, and I think realistically, you know, the kid was the middleman in a sense.
Well, no, but he's a kid though. That's the thing.
Exactly. So
What it was
it's hard
his.
to rule either way.
Yeah. What the story was is that to treat the kids for doing good on their first set of, because he's in year 4, they did their first tests, going forward towards they go their SATs. They did their first pre-test SATs, maths. All the class got above 90%. So the teachers all went to McDonald's and got a bunch of chicken nuggets, and then they gave them to the kids. That's basically what they did.
There you go. So it came from a place to.
But here's the thing as well, right? That's the thing. If the mother didn't inform the school as well, because usually when they go out to a place like that, they usually take like all the records of all the children of like allergies and all this stuff as well. And usually they send a letter as well to the parents asking permission if the kids can go on the trip as well.
Yeah, permission.
So the mother said nothing, because they usually say as well in the slips, if there is any allergies that we are not aware of or anything like that you don't want your kid eating, let us know. She still didn't say. She's an idiot, it's her fault, and I don't blame the kid. The kid got chicken nuggets, I'd do the same.
Chicken nuggets.
I mean, had the kid said, no, I'm vegetarian, and the school done it, then yeah, sure, fuck the school.
Yeah.
If the mother had told the school and the school went, nah, fuck you, and gave the child nuggets anyway.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Whatever. I mean, he's a minor, so, legally, it doesn't really matter. It's between the mother and the school. If the mother informed the school and the school didn't uphold their side, then the school's in the wrong. But if she didn't inform the school, then the school wasn't aware of the situation. If anything, it might be a good thing for the school. Maybe now they'll increase, questioning for the kids. When they're put on a register, they use your child with any special needs.
No, I don't know. I don't agree with that, because they do that. No, I don't agree with that, because they do that already. You know what I mean? You can't cater to fucking idiots in the world. They do that already. They're just going to
be paranoid now.
Yeah, they will be paranoid and they may be a bit cautious, but still, they do. Like, I worked in a primary school for, a couple of weeks, and I saw the slips they used to hand out and whatnot, and they do as much as they can already. The parents generally fucking care and had a lick of common sense, and they would. I don't think the school... How else can the school do that? Because they say in everything, every permission slip they give, every term they give, every year they give. If the kids put on school lunches, they give out slips to tell the parents, like, hey, like, they're on it. It's just the parents being fucking idiots is when this shit happens. I know, as someone whose family also lives in Suffolk and had family go to, primary schools there and high schools there, if you do have like food allergies as well or indigestion issues, like, it's not fucking rocket science.
No, it's quite simple, and it's it's usually a standard. But yeah, I just want your opinion on that. It's a pretty bullshit story. Woman's probably not going to get her money, but I doubt she will. But we'll wait and see.
For fuck's sakes, woman.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking stupid. Random number she's just plucked out of her ass. And speaking of pulling something out of your ass, Lil Uzi Vert and Future dropped an album. Baby Pluto X Pluto. It's trash. It's complete trash. I kind of got that
impression from how you segued into that.
Yeah, it's complete trash. I'm not even gonna say I don't hate all of Lil Uzi Vert's songs. I don't hate all of Future's songs.
Got a few bangers.
They got a few bangers, but this album, it feels like someone went. Right, we got Playboy Carti, very known for mumble rap. I don't like Playboy Carti either, but they almost took his level of mumble rap. They did a fuck ton of cocaine and then just got some random 5-year-old on all the beats, and this is going to sell 102k first week. Well, it's projected to anyway. It's fucking ridiculous.
Makes me wonder why I bother with my music.
Lewis King, Stream Lilith and Willow Tree now.
It's true. But no, seriously, like, I put quite a lot of... I mean, maybe I'm have this completely wrong. Maybe they put their heart and soul into it, and it just ended up being a bad album. Who knows? I mean, there's probably people out there who run that shit up because they fucking love it. They love what the artist stands for. Yeah, it could be a number of things. And again, I'm not famous. I don't drop famous albums every now and then. They've got some clout, that does help in the music industry. But people who are up and coming, who put their heart and soul into their shit, and then drop it and only get, what, 30 views? It's a real kick in the balls, man. Especially when you see like songs like fucking WAP as well.
Oh god, yeah, so
You
fucking
know,
trash. There's a hole in this house. There's a hole. It's fucking just rubbish. It's just trash.
I mean, it's a bad song, man. It's a bad song.
The whole internet's already shit on it anyway, but it's just so bad.
I love.
And I'm not saying my music is superior. Like my music, and that's fine. That's music's subjective. People are gonna like it.
But WAP's bad.
People are
If
gonna
you
hate
like
it,
it, you're retarded.
you know.
Simple.
I mean,
I like the argument with the WAP song, you know, how it empowers women and all this by basically, I don't know, it's interesting reading the arguments about it, because you've seen the arguments of people be like, oh WAP, this is a song empowering women and like taking back their, you know, their sexuality and like showing that they're powerful without needing a man.
yeah, I'll give you a song that does that. Jennifer Lopez released a song called "I Ain't Your Mama."
Yeah,
Right, and that has a way stronger message for women than fucking WAP. If you're like, just in my opinion,
Gangnam
like,
Style has a higher pressure, has a better influence for women than WAP.
I know, but like, and to be fair, right, I fucking love Jennifer Lopez's music. It's quite good. Like, I remember hearing that. Like, it's an empowering woman song, and the stigma's like, oh, you're a man, you should hate this shit. And I'm like, hey, if it's good music, I'll fucking listen to it.
However, she did also do that song with Iggy Azalea where it was the big booty one, but let's just ignore that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's good songs and bad songs.
Yeah, but I think with Jennifer Lopez compared to like WAP, like Jennifer Lopez actually kind of proved that you don't need a man. If anything, in her song it was kind of like, you know, I'm not basically your mother, so don't treat me like, and all this stuff. But with WAP, people are like, oh, it basically shows that women don't need a man and whatnot. But then you get fucking lyrics which are like, oh, I use like my pictures of like my fanny to get money from men to pay for my tuition. And it's like, well then how is that really like empowering? Because like if you don't need men, then why are you, you know, not judging people who do this, but why are you selling your body to a man to pay for your stuff? You know, if you really don't need men, then, you know, don't make songs about relying on their money, you know? I think the argument that it's, you know, taking back, like, allowing women to sexually express themselves, like, yeah, that's fine, but when we go, oh, this is showing how, like, this song says how we don't need men, it's like, well, no, it's saying this is not the best example of a song empowering women and how they don't need men. That's not the best example, you know? And
I mean, by 2020 standards.
Yeah. And sorry, there's fireworks going off, so Monty's going a bit mad. But,
yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
But it's like, I don't know. It's just like, and also it's not the best song because it sounds so much like Cardi B's other songs.
It's because she's a generic artist that can't change.
Like the
I
way
mean,
that
the one thing that I always remember about Cardi B is that meme where it's like, she's got 6 cars, can't drive, and then someone's like commenting, yeah, she's got 6 like albums and still can't rap. It's like, oh, it's. I mean, it.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but
true.
I will sell my
I
husband.
cannot stand that woman.
The thing is that like she's, how do I put it? She doesn't sing, but she doesn't really like rap either. She just talks in a rhythm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not a good one.
That's
She's
a lot of
annoying.
artists.
Yeah, but I don't really consider that as like rapping though, because it's not really.
No.
It's like you just doing like you just sound like you're just like kind of vibing to poetry a bit too hard.
Yeah, and
I mean,
I'm a look like
it's foundation.
and
Poetry-
I look like a
poetry
man
and words.
stallion is just as bad.
Mm.
It's just fucking trash.
That's another thing
trash
though.
song.
Rap names as well. Are they getting worse?
Well, they were certainly more creative back in the day. Where like you think about the things like Dr. Dre, Ice Cube,
Yeah, Snoop Dogg.
Tupac,
The great.
like people like that. They were individual names that were
Shady
kind of.
even.
I'll say one thing: the UK has, in terms of artists that come out of it that blow up a bit more. We've got way more unique names than they do in America. where like now you've got
Yeah.
about 500 lils, different iterations of YNW, YBN, YM4, putting numbers at the end of your name for no reason. Like there's a couple artists that I know of Americans that do, but like you think about British ones, there isn't really a standard kind of generic, like there's no little here in the UK, like even just thinking about grime or
Lil
whatever.
Tay, though. Lil
Yeah,
Tay.
Lil Tay, but
Lil
like
Tay.
you think about grime as well. Like you just name the ones that have done quite well. You pick of like people like J Hus, Stormzy, Gigs, people like that. It's all unique names that are different. Dave, like there's quite a lot.
Location.
Yeah, like there's a uniqueness to their name, but then you look in the American rap charts. Obviously, there is a few, like you think of people. As much as I don't like him, Drake, like people like Drake. You've got people like Sasha Baby, even XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD. People like that are names that are unique to them and different. And you don't go, oh, there's not like a, there's not an XXX Garden Pole. Well, there isn't yet. But then there's about 500 Lils. Lil Pump, Lil Xan, Lil Uzi, fucking Lil Solar. There you got YNW Melly, YNW Slime, fucking YBN Namir, YBN Almighty, YBM Cordae. It's like it's all the same thing.
It is interesting though, because I feel like these names spawned because they weren't generic. You know what I mean? Like the first few ones, like XXXTentacion, I was like, this wasn't really kind of used. X's and Y's and Z's weren't actually used in like rap titles.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
like
think
even
people
Lil
hopped on
Wayne.
the bandwagon with that a little bit too hard.
Yeah, it's like Lil Wayne.
Oh, yeah, that's new
Lil
and
Wayne was
interesting and
unique.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day, Lil was a normal thing. Lil Wayne came out, and it was like there wasn't really many other Lils, and now there's about 500.
Right. So now I'm going to hit you with another question.
Go on.
If you were going to start a rap career in today's society, today's business, what would your rapper name be, and what kind of rap would you do?
Reza.
No, you just copyright it.
Copyrighted. Shout out Indigo
Copyright.
Records.
Shout out Indigo Records.
I need to think for a minute. Do you want to go first, Amy?
Name as well.
Like, would you go for something like little, or would you like
Oh no, if
go
I
along
don't
the Megan Thee Stallion type
There's kind of
beat?
nothing about me, so oh, that's probably create a wrong image in people's heads. I'd kind of go for something like, I don't know,
Little, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nasha. I don't know. It's hard actually. Trying to
Hang on, wait, Nasha.
Nasha.
Did you just say Nasha?
No, I said. I didn't say that, but
It sounded like Nasha on my end.
why would I
That'd
say
be good
Nasha?
though.
Why would I be called Nasha?
No, but I mean, as a rap name in general, that'd be alright. I'd like to see a Nasha.
Yeah, I'll copyright that right now.
Yeah.
No. I would probably be like something
Royalties,
like,
bro.
I don't know, something like, I don't know, double DB, something like that.
Double DB. Dragon Ball Z.
I think I would just kind of rap about, I don't know, just shit about life, just kind of.
Like mumble
I would
rap.
say, not mumble, I'd actually like to rap. I can't because I stumble too
Like
much.
rap
But if
rap.
I could, yeah, I would do rap. I would kind of talk about like, I guess I wouldn't say like, I guess realistic things about like
More lyrically eloquent.
yees. So not about like, oh fuck these bitches or fuck these like men. I'll just say like, yeah, people are gonna suck. What are you gonna do about it, love?
Fair
Just
enough.
kind of be just
a
honest
vibe.
about it. Yeah, like kind of like
Alright,
how
Sheila, how about yourself?
I'm gonna take a page out of some British artists thing. I'd go CR5. I'd steal for
CR5.
Croydon Ends and the London Zone,
Croydon Ends.
like V9 does. I'd steal my London
yeah,
Zone
that's
and I'd just do drill because it's easy.
True.
Well, it's not easy. Drill's not easy, but it's probably one of the ones that you could get into pretty easy because, number one, it's not actually, as much as people think it is, it's not actually an oversaturated market. Because people who do drill properly versus what people think is drill and goes into grime doesn't really. Like, there's more people that think they're doing drill and are doing grime than there's people who are actually doing drill. So I do drill music, heavy beat, harsh rap lyrics, and yeah, just name myself after my area code.
Interesting.
They'll come to my ends.
What about you, Lewis?
Oh, I don't know, bro.
You know, you're a musician. What would you like your rap?
Lewis King. Easy.
Lewis King,
I
right?
am Lewis King, and I do do alternative rock.
It's like Little K, little LK.
He do
LK.
do fucking K-pop.
I'd probably be I don't know, if I was doing predominantly rap and I needed like a rap name, I'd probably go with
Lil Riz.
LJW and then King, because that's my initials. Really simple, but LJW King. That'd be quite a sick rap name, I feel, and I think I'd probably try and be like clever with it, you know, because I'm a huge Eminem fan. Like, really appreciate. I mean, I watched 8 Mile for like the first time the other day, and I was really surprised because I genuinely thought it was like a film about Eminem, and I'm like, no, it just stars Eminem. His name's Wabbit. He's a rabbit. And honestly, I think we should have a drinking game for every time Future says like DJ spin that shit. I think I counted like 10 times he said that in the final rap battles, and
every time he says it, you take a shot.
I mean, I know he gets a lot of shit now because he's getting on a bit, and he's kind of old news. But you know, even with the recent beef with, well, I say recent, it was probably a while ago now. But
2 years ago
where he was
now.
like beefing with MGK, where MGK sent for him. I mean, his diss wasn't great at all. And I'm talking about Eminem here. Like, it was good, but by Eminem standards, it's like, we've seen what you can do, man. I mean, you wrote Stan, and Stan will always be like quite a track for me, at least, just because of the story aspect of it. And I think, yeah, nah, I'd go along those lines, or maybe like George the Poet. If you guys have heard of George the Poet,
No.
Yeah,
he did a really good track recently. Follow the Leader. And yeah, no, I think I'd try and go along those lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like it has like a story element to it, you know. It's not just
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
It's not random shit. It's own. Oh,
I mean, I would definitely have to make a money, drugs, and hoes type track.
I got
think
bitches all on.
That's how you get christened as a rapper. You got to do at least one track about money, drugs, and bitches, and shooting up in the ends. But
well, maybe like when you actually get to do that, you can talk about it.
yeah.
We're in the UK, like I know that, you know, fucking guns were fired at Little, was it Little the other day?
Oh god.
Yeah, Little near me.
Yeah,
We spoke about that in the last podcast.
Yeah, we literally covered it in the last podcast.
I know, but I can't remember if it was Little or fucking something else. But
Yeah, it was a
No,
little.
it was the Little near I don't really want to say where in case people try and come to my end.
Basically, someplace it's somewhere in the whole of South London. Someone shot
Yeah,
a gun.
it's like South London.
Yeah.
I mean, not a big
You know, it's
surprise.
not-
You know?
No.
you're not that hard to find in the UK. Someone who's got shot at Little.
I mean, gun laws
No.
out here are weird. Well, not weird, but just it's trickier to get hold of a gun, let alone kill somebody with one. And you know, shootings in my area are like unheard of, bro.
And speaking of shooting innocent people, did you hear about the GTA 1 billion? Casino heist is about to get wrecked.
This is news as of today. Like the people at the Diamond Casino are like shaking in their boots.
They're about to.
number of times you and
Dungan
me
Security is about to go out of business. Dungan Security is
like
fucked.
the 54th time. After.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I've been talking for a bit now, bro. I think you should take the lead on this one.
So today was just loading up Grand Theft Auto as you do, as you can probably see in the background. You know, simple. It's a game we enjoy, we
You've
all
been
love,
staring at it
and
like the last
yeah. Because of obviously the release of the PS5. Well, that's what I believe the motive is. GTA 5 has basically released that for if the community collectively robs $1 billion in heist money, I think I don't know if it's just specific to the casino or if it's just across every heist.
It's across any heist and
Any
it's
heist.
heist finales.
Yeah, so just nick it a billion.
I mean, it's probably on the Rockstar news show, you know what I mean?
Oh, probably. But we got to nick a billion. So everyone load up GTA. You get a special car at the end of it. We're celebrating the release of the PS5, and yeah, GTA 5. You know, milking the cow to another console. But regardless of that, it's a cool little thing. Free stuff for the community, and yeah, everyone get fucking robbing. Tell my man Felipe at the front desk to take a couple of weeks off, so he doesn't get his get himself clapped into next week every 5 seconds. But
yeah, justice for Felipe, bro.
Justice for Felipe. But you know, that's Rockstar's a good games company. So they've done something that's good for their supporters. And they're good for their fans.
They take a while with their games, but they come out with good shit every year.
Yeah, and obviously Red Dead Redemption 2's online's a bit shaky.
Year, every time they've dropped a game.
Every time they've dropped, yeah, it's pretty much a classic.
It's always been quality.
And however, not every games company is quite as good as Rockstar. And we're going to talk about two separately in the podcast. So we're going. I don't know which one to start with, to be honest, because they're both as pathetic as each other. But
start with the EA one.
We'll start with EA. So the famous rapper and you know, Mr. Worldwide appears to have paid EA to be inside of career mode, because apparently EA still doesn't know how to fix the board manager glitch, and they've said that apparently it will brick the game if they attempt to attempt to repair it. And a lot of people are calling that as bullshit, and they think EA are actually trolling, but apparently they're being deadly serious. So managers in career mode, if you are a career mode player like myself, I buy FIFA every year, not just for Ultimate Team. I do enjoy playing career mode quite a lot. It's quite fun owning a team and getting to, you know, play the games and play out the scenarios. But don't bother customizing your manager this year, because they're all going to look like Pitbull. Receding hairline Pitbull, because he actually has hair on the back of his head. It's Pitbull if he was trying to grow his hair back before realising he just shave it off. But yeah, EA are just EA are ridiculous.
I know, it's surprising. He does. He did.
But it's just
yeah, it's a plus. It's a thing we don't really talk about for him, for his sake.
Just don't talk about Daddy Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. But yeah, EA are just useless. EA are fucking useless.
I'm convinced someone's done it as a fucking... Someone who's just sick of, like, EA has just done it as a fucking joke.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm
definitely. It's Bethesda, they did it.
Someone snuck in, had a mole.
They did. You will have the worst game of the year, not us. Yeah, and because, to be honest, the EA thing, there's not really much to talk about. It's kind of a standard thing. EA's fucked up. What a fucking surprise. However, this transition, there's a lot to unpack here. So, Fallout 76 shutting off its servers for a week. What's your opinion? To repair the game, fix it, and release the game with complete and utter fluidity. Stop people from going into the... what's the name of the room? Lewis, help me. The dev room. That's it. Never mind, I remembered. The dev room and nicking everything.
I don't play Fallout 76. I don't know. Bro.
Just because of thingy, Internet Historian. Shout out Internet Historian, best channel on YouTube. Apart from us, of course. It's ridiculous how they think they're going to fix this in a week. And you know what? I'm just going to stop talking and hand it over to Amy, because she's passionate about this. So go on.
Okay, so basically I did study a bit of game design, and I know people who do coding for games, and they're studying at university level. Basically, obviously we, as ourselves, don't know the extent of the fuck-up that is the coding for Fallout 76, so all we know it's not good. It is very not fucking good. Basically, them saying that in just a week's time that they're going to be able to fix the whole fucking game and, you know, make it completely fluid with, like, obviously there's still going to be bugs and glitches, because that's, you know, it's what happens, but it's going to be less severe. I do not believe that, just for the simple fact that the game itself right now, so what some people might not understand is that when you develop a game, sometimes when you implement certain codes and features, they can clash and create new glitches which you don't know. And here's the issue I have, is just how fucked up it is. I don't think they're going to have a week to solve everything, because when they fix one problem, something else is going to come up, because it's such a buggy state as it is. They're going to work the staff to shit. They have set such a small time limit.
Yeah, Todd Howard's going to be dead by the end of the week.
But here's another thing as well. Even say magically, they play the game themselves. They go, okay, this is actually really good. We can put this forward. We have no issues, right? Everything that they fixed in terms of bugs and glitches, they know in terms of like the actual coding of the game, they won't be able to fix any of the glitches and new bugs, and probably the old ones as well, that are occurring when you have a whole fucking online community come onto one. And that is including people who obviously mod, people who use cheats, you know, all that sort of things. That's why it's so hard when it comes to like multiplayer games online. If the game is in such a buggy, cheaty state, you need to fix, like, it's so hard, but you need to fix it while people are still online and like using mods and cheats and all this stuff, because you can't fix that by yourself as a company. You actually, and also like I said, if they do fix it, new issues are going to occur during, you know, multiplayer. What I'm trying to say is, it's not going to happen. There's no fucking way it's going to happen, and I think it's actually going to cause more issues, because they're not going to be able to test the multiplayer completely fine, and they're going to find new issues, people are going to find new exploits, and they're just not keeping on top of it, and they just left. I feel so bad for the staff as well, I really do, because the amount of fucking stress they must be under right now, I can't believe it, and I have no idea what Bethesda is doing. I personally think that they, honest to God, should just fucking delete the game and start again. You just can't. That's what I honestly think they should do.
But that requires them to... But that would mean they don't get to spend money. You got to spend money in the atomic shop. We need peas. Just buy atoms. It's fine. Because we all know about the disaster with the Fallout 76 launch, and it just seems to get worse and worse every single...
I mean, how big was the day one patch again? I swear it was like something ridiculous.
60 gigabytes
60
it was.
Gigs?
Yeah.
That was it. 60 gigs for a fucking day one patch. That's like, I mean...
Fuck this. I'll see you tomorrow. God, save it.
Their day one patch was only a couple gigs. 60 gigs for a day one patch is...
It's ridiculous.
I want to say unheard of in like today's gaming.
No, because absolutely what they did is what Internet Historian kind of said, and what another YouTuber said, who did like a 2-hour, nearly 3-hour video of like all the fucking glitches and bugs he found in his playthrough. It's basically what they did was they basically just sent out, not even the full game, they just sent out like a fucking like alpha demo or something, or like a demo, and they thought, because I generally feel like they very underestimated 100%, because remember as well, it wasn't Bethesda's A team that created this, it was their B team, which is smaller, you know, and everything, and that does contribute to that.
Yeah, for a AAA game, it's perfect.
Yeah, it does, and honestly, it's, I think, what was I trying to... Basically, I think what they did was they kind of went, oh, fuck, because they did delay it quite a bit, and there was a lot of issues from the get-go, but I think what they kind of thought they could do was they go, okay, you know what, we'll release the game, and as the game, you know, continues, we can, you know, give update patches. But what I don't think they realised, obviously, because obviously they couldn't test the multiplayer faction, which is something I said before, I don't think they realised how fucked it was. And it was really, really fucked, and I think they kind of went, oh shit, let's just, you know, keep trying. But it ruins the experience for other people, and it just creates such a, you know, such a bad name for the game. And honestly, it's not, like, just, you know, get rid of all the glitches and whatnot. What can you actually do in Fallout 76? Because there's like no story, you know.
Shoot things.
It's just not very, like, fun from what I've heard, which is a shame, because the Fallout series started so strong, especially the first games. It was so strong, and they just ruined it, and you just kind of go, damn, like, you can't have multiplayer games that have, like, a good, you know, story to follow and everything. And the thing is, I don't think Bethesda's really created online games as well before, like, multiplayer games.
No,
not particularly. And that's, like I said, I think they've just fucked up so badly. I think they just need to take the game, bin it, and just basically start from scratch. Fallout
I feel
76
like they
game.
pulled a half No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
obviously-
100%.
No Man's Sky, sure, it had a lot of teething problems. Too much was promised. Game got released. People were disappointed. It was buggy. But then, I don't remember which company produced it. Was
Hello
it?
Games.
That's it. Hello Games. They got their shit together. They said, all right, we admit it's shit. We fucked up here. We've done you wrong. We've done you dirty. But they made a valiant effort to repair what was wrong with it. And it ended up being a good game. I've not played it, but it's on my radar.
Oh no, it won a fuck ton of
it's on my
awards.
list of games to play. But the thing is, Bethesda are fucked up with this one, and they're going about fixing it all the wrong way. They haven't held their hands up and gone, alright, we're sorry. They've tried to desperately resuscitate it, and as a result, they've just, I don't know, I feel like they've painted a bad name for the company.
No,
And,
100% yeah.
the Fallout series in general. Because, I enjoy the series. Fallout 3 and Vegas were like two of my faves. Fallout 4, I enjoyed it, but I can't play it anymore. I'm so bored of it.
It's not even just that, it's like the first original Fallout games as well, like, when it was like, the 2D, back in like the 19s and all that. Even then, the game itself, obviously I can't play it because it requires big brain energy, but I watch people play the game, and you just kind of look at the first game, look at the new one, you kind of think, how the fuck do you fuck up so badly? Because
How did we get here?
How did we get here? It's like, upgrade, fuck, go back. It's like that situation. Because, like, the thing is, you kind of think, like I said before in the last podcast, I can't remember if it was the failed one or the one we actually uploaded, but you kind of think, with the technology we have, right, you would think we'd be a bit better. And the thing is, Fallout New Vegas demonstrated that with the Fallout lore and franchise, you could do a first-person shooter, whatnot, successfully.
I mean, you said it yourself. If the code, again, we do have the technology. We have really good technology. But if the coding's terrible and the people don't know what they're doing, it's like giving your mum a smartphone and expecting her to be able to post her own Facebook posts. It's just not going to happen.
I don't know about everyone's mum, but no.
Like, if you and again, they haven't coded multiplayer games. They're trying to make a big one of that scale. It's just not going to happen.
They fucked themselves
It's like
over.
asking someone who makes predominantly single-player games to go, okay, make a two-player game or make a multiplayer game, and they're going to be like, oh shit.
Oh, what? But
And again, they were pushed for time. I feel like a lot. Don't blame Bethesda. They're just, at the end of the day, they're just trying to make a good game, and it's not.
They're doing it for the
problem
money.
lies in how they handled everything else.
I actually think the reason why is just because of money. I'm not blaming the actual, like, the people who've coded it and the people who've, like, designed everything. I don't blame them. I blame the marketing and, like, the higher-ups, because I 100% believe that they've rushed and put so much pressure on the actual developers for money that it fucked them over. I honestly think greed fucked them over in this sense.
Yeah, and ironically, it's going to cost them more in the long run to fix. I think they should have just quit while they were ahead instead of trying to save it. But again, I stand by what you said. I think they should just scrap it and start again. But they should have done that to start with. In the grand scheme of things, it's probably cost them more in terms of lost sales and all this extra shit they added to the game and the extra marketing and the extra hours the workers are pulling. It's like, I don't know. I've not played it per se, but I've seen the reviews, man. I don't know, you can't get everything from reviews. But the gameplay that I've seen, it's buggy.
Dude,
it's unplayable.
A 3-hour video of someone's playthrough, including like the update patches of all the bugs. That's just fucking ridiculous. That's embarrassing for a game company.
I mean, say what you want about GTA's loading screens, but
like, we're not saying that every game needs to be like perfection and all this, because like you will encounter bugs and glitches. It's the thing about coding and all this stuff as well. But come on, it's like, come on. There's like a bar. You guys are just plummeted all the way down. It's not very like.
It doesn't have to be like the fanciest game with the fanciest graphics, the fanciest visuals, and the best story. It's just got to be polished and works.
Playable.
Does what it says on the tin. You know,
It's got
I mean,
playable is what it is.
I don't think there's a perfect game out there, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably put it down to like some of the old Spyro games, man. They were just good, genuine fun.
Yeah.
Like Hero's Tale or fucking Lego Star Wars, like the first two. You guys know my opinion on that. They're such good games.
Yeah, and you know, it's just like you just become disappointed. You don't become angry. You're just disappointed at a certain point.
And that's Bethesda in a nutshell in the modern day, unfortunately. And obviously, we could very easily right now transition to something negative, which we're going to talk about. But let's. I think that for a moment we should be a bit more positive, because we're shitting on a games company. So let's talk about one that's actually got their fucking head on a swivel, which is Sucker Punch Productions, the guys who made Ghost of Tsushima. Fucking
They are on the ball
5 million copies as of today have been sold, and they've announced that they're going to make a sequel. It's going to be.
Pick up my copy of it. Like
it's going to be years till we get the sequel, but I'm already excited for it. Like honestly,
Oh, 100%.
it will go down as a PS4 classic. It was released, obviously, you know, quite late into the PS4's life. You know, it's gained so much popularity, and people have gone, well, now it's got to move to the PS5.
I mean, what a way to send off the console. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Certainly with games like that, especially with you know, things like FIFA 21 being in complete shambles, and the Call of Duty. I haven't played the new Call of Duty. I don't know if it's any good. I haven't heard there's been any problems. I'm probably going to pick it up just to play the campaign, if anything. But you know, there's some decent games.
I mean, Lewis, you're probably the one to talk about Ghost anyway.
Oh, you know, it's
The amount
just
of hours you've sunk into that game.
yeah. Let's put it this way. It was I've as a group, the group that run this podcast, we're quite you know, into platinums at the moment. We've been getting into our platinums a bit more. Me in the last couple of months, same with Lewis as well. Last couple of months, Amy's been going quite a lot longer than us with her platinum. She's been getting them. She's got a lot more than us. I'm currently sitting on 20. You've got 34, 35 platinums.
I think I've got. Hang on, I've got 36.
36. Lewis, you've got 8 now? 7, 8?
I got 8, boy.
You've got 8 platinums. So again, but see, we've got the platinum
but it's
trophies.
honest
But
work.
when people play these games, obviously, I know a lot of people will play a game just to platinum it, and it's just to get the platinum alone. Trust me, I've been there. Just cheap Japanese games. But I think Ghost of Tsushima was the first game where I wanted to get the platinum because I enjoyed the game and I wanted to 100% it, but it's the one game where I didn't want to finish the game to platinum it. I just wanted to finish the game because I loved it and I wanted to do everything. Everything kept me going. I would go past all the little individual things and I want to go and do them. And I'm not speaking specifically because the 2 other people on the podcast have not played the game, so I don't want to ruin it. But anyone who has played the game will know what I'm talking about. There's so much to do in the game. It's not particularly the hardest platinum in the world. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's ridiculous, because it's actually fairly simple if you enjoy the game. But it's honestly probably it's my favourite game at the moment. I don't know if I'd say all time. I'm not 100% sure, but all I want to say about it is it's masterfully created. It's very true to the history in many ways, and it's a great story. That I think that if you haven't played the game and you are a fan of melee style combat games or just heavily story driven historical games and you haven't played it, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to go and buy Ghost of Tsushima. It's amazing. And
Well said.
that game was trailered, it was produced amazingly, and it delivered on every single thing it promised. Sucker Punch Productions did an amazing job. However,
I mean, Sucker Punch have got some good titles, I swear. Like, not just
They
Ghost.
do
Like, what
indeed.
else has Sucker Punch made?
I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, to be perfectly
Hang
honest with
on,
you.
I'm on it. Hang on, I'm on it.
There we go.
And
Because
well,
I've seen Sucker Punch's logo somewhere before.
yeah, no, they've made quite a few games, and I just can't think of. The thing is like there's games that I know and I can't even think who's made them.
Because if
Like
they drop
ones
that,
that
they
are
might be one to look out for in the new years coming. I mean, with the release of the PS5 and the Xbox One, who knows what they'll do?
It's like, even off the top of my head, I can't actually think who made Mafia. But I've played all the Mafia games and I fucking love them. but I can't think off the top of my head who makes them.
They've made Infamous, that's why.
There you
Infamous
go.
something.
Another great series. I mean, Infamous 2 was probably my favourite.
It's a solid games company.
They've actually only made a very few games. Because imagine that they've worked with other game companies.
Potentially, but it also could be the thing that they've, they actually put time and effort into their games before releasing them, instead of churning out yearly updates.
They're all very original. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima, it's a standalone title. It's doing well for itself.
Yeah, and again,
It's very...
go on.
Oh no, carry on. I was going to say, like,
I know, because I was going to do a transition, so go on. You talk about it.
I was going to say, Ghost of Tsushima is very much like it's. I think it's. I wouldn't say it's like completely unique, but it's definitely the first. It's like a breath of fresh air, I think, in terms of like games that have been released.
Yeah,
You know,
literally when you literally, and you'll see what I mean by that when you play the game. Literally.
Because it's just it's nice when people use like cultures and history to like really tell a story instead of like it's sort of like what I mean, they branch out, because surprisingly not a lot of people have done that, or game companies have really done that, and I think it's just a wasted opportunity.
Companies get a bit too safe in their titles. I think that's what Bethesda's doing.
Yeah.
They don't want to push the boat out and create a new IP when they can just keep milking the Fortnite the Fallout cow.
Fortnite. Well, yeah, Epic Games.
Fallout
Talk
2.
about milking games.
Fallout 2 coming soon.
Fallout 2.
Yeah,
2.
I know. Fallout 2 too. No, I refuse to talk about Fortnite. Fuck that shit.
We're not talking about Fortnite.
We're not talking about Fortnite.
I will
If you came here for Fortnite talk, get out.
Get out, you fucking 9-year-old. But again, it's the thing I was going to say before. Ghost of Tsushima delivered on everything it promised. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, however, cinematic trailers, tons of TV trailers, tons of box art, ultimate pack editions that are beautiful, absolute trailer to perfection. I am ridiculously hyped for this game, and I still am now. I'm still going to buy it. But when it was released, it had quite a few problems. Problems that are
Shouldn't have.
no, and it you kind of get the impression that they spent so much money on making that Viking look, beautiful, that they forgot to, make the first missions of the game work.
The scenery is amazing. They've done an amazing job with the way it looks. But if you can't progress through the main story, you're gonna have a very short game.
Yeah.
Or you have to do it in a certain way if you want to keep your save data.
Oh yeah, no. And those poor souls got to redeem all their stuff and then delete their save file.
We didn't talk about this in the last one, did we? Should kind of explain.
He did mention about how one of his mates had done it, but not in detail.
No, I feel like the way he described it to me, and I haven't done much research into it, he's done more research into this than me. He'd definitely be the one to ask. And when I get a chance, I will call him up and find out what's been going down with it. But I think the main issue that he and a few other people who got the game early on struggled with was progressing through the story past a certain point. And it was something, and I believe the quest was something called Seer, or Seer's something. So you'd get through the main story, and then it would refuse to pop up. The next main quest just wouldn't pop. You could have everything done correctly. That I remember people going through and collecting a lot of collectibles, and still having no luck with the main story. And it came out as a bug, and it was talked about on Reddit, a couple forums on Reddit, the Valhalla Reddit, people running into this bug. And apparently it's because people started playing the game before the update file had finished installing. So on PS4 where you get, oh yeah, the game's copied across and you can start playing. People will do that while they wait for all the online shit to install itself. But I believe that patch was supposed to fix the bug, instead enhanced it, and more people ran into the issue. And the only way around it, as far as I'm aware, was to play everything again from the start, but avoid certain missions and play it in a specific order that would allow the next quest to pop, which was a bit. And that's a kick in the balls for some people, especially people who've got like 5 or maybe 6 hours already invested in the game. I mean, all you got to do is play a permadeath run and know when you die at some random shit halfway through the game. Going back 5 hours, it's like the worst feeling in the world.
Last of Us Part 2 sad hours.
Don't. Platinum hurts. I mean, I want the platinum wasn't bad. It's the 100% I'm struggling with. Grounded mode is kicking me in the ass. But no, I mean, and for a company like Ubisoft, you know, they've always done really good titles, especially with Assassin's Creed. It's a beloved series, and I know they're sort of dividing the fan base now with the new games. They're going a different route, kind of shitting on the lore a little bit. But for a AAA game that's had so much hype and so much production put into it with these cinematic trailers, you think it would like hold up a bit more, especially being the latest game in the franchise. I mean, even the remaster's a little buggy. Maybe Ubisoft have got their hands full, potentially, and the games are suffering for it. I don't know. I don't work at Ubisoft, and I don't code video games. This is just my humble opinion. But if you ask me, a AAA game, and you're charging 50 quid for it, you know, especially during COVID, where people are struggling to get hold of money and stuff, if they're going to invest money in your game, you got to make sure it's polished, man. I wouldn't buy a guitar if it had like 5 strings. Especially if you told me, oh yeah, it's got 6 strings and it works perfectly, and you hand it to me and the connection's fiddly, or it's missing a string, or it's missing a tuning peg. You know, you're gonna get bad reviews. And hopefully, you know, they fixed it. You know, I think Vinny messaged me the other day. He said it's probably fixed by now. So if I wanted to pick up the game, it was probably safe to do so. But you know me, I'm broke as hell. So
it's still late though. I feel like though it's with a lot of like AAA games or companies that I think they focus so much on the marketing and just trying to, you know, they promise all these things and they just can't meet up to it, and them trying to meet up to it, and not because you do in terms of coding and all this stuff. Like it does take a lot of fucking skill and patience.
I mean, teething problems are common, but
yeah,
game-breaking stuff. That's
what I'm trying to say is it's very much like it's becoming embarrassing now, and I think companies need to start realizing that, like, yes, marketing is important, but don't actually forget the quality of the game when you first release it, because that's like the prime time of, like, you know, and you think they would know this, like, have they just, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I just think it's just, it's either, I think maybe people, you know, game companies are struggling because they are asking for so much on, like, console games especially, because obviously PCs is different. It's a different topic in terms of developing, but it's just like, when for consoles, it just becomes embarrassing, because I don't know if it's because they try to do so much and they can't actually do it without a lot of issues happening, or are they just focusing too much on the marketing that they forget about, you know, the actual mechanics of the game for it to work. Like the whole that quest issue thing shouldn't be a fucking thing in this generation.
No, agreed.
It shouldn't. The fact that it is, though, you just kind of sit there and go, what the fuck are you actually doing? Like, what are you making these developers do? Because you're, like, it's just, I don't know. Because there's a whole, like, system of, you know, you have the lead director, lead developer, and then you also have the people, you know, and it's just, you just kind of go,
it's a shame as well that it's, like, halfway through. Like, if it was the start of the game, I think more people would, you know, to get a few quests in, and, like, be playing this AAA title that you've waited months for and you've been really hyped for, and then to find out you can't progress any further unless you start again. That's, oh man, that's, can't imagine. But anyway, I haven't played the game. Well, I have played the game briefly. You know, it's very smooth. Plays very smooth. You know, I look forward to picking it up and actually playing it all the way through for myself. You know, it doesn't. I don't want to shit on Ubisoft, because they are a great company. They've made a lot of great titles, a lot of which I hold very dear. yeah, I'm just looking forward. I just hope everything's going well for him. You know, it doesn't tarnish the game. It's a shame that it's happened, but you know, I think people who love the series and love playing the games, they'll look past it, and you know, they've still got the rest of the game to play. You know.
Yeah, but it just doesn't do well for other people who, you know, wait for these kind of, you know, reviews to come out. It's just, you know, it's just
Especially for people who might be starting their series, like they might be starting with Valhalla.
Yeah.
What a picture that'll paint if Valhalla's the first Assassin's Creed game they play.
Oh god, can you imagine people who played like the first Assassin's Creed Unity was like their first game. Can you fucking imagine?
Well, I think that turned a lot of people off the series. I mean, I liked Unity for the story, but the gameplay, I don't know what they were doing.
It's painful, is what it is.
Like I've never been. I very rarely get frustrated at games. You know, I'm quite a laid back dude. If I'm not having a good time with a game, I'll put it down and just not play it. But because it was Assassin's Creed, because I was invested in the story, I wanted to finish it. But there was nothing worse than like doing a mission that fundamentally is broken because the controls are just too janky. You know, I mean Red Dead 2. I could not Red Dead 2, but the first Red Dead. I couldn't get the hang of the controls. I wasn't that invested in the story, and as a result, I didn't play the rest of the game. Which was a shame, because I know Red Dead Redemption is quite dear to a lot of people. You know, it's one of Rockstar's best. You know, and Red Dead 2 was super successful, and I want to play that, and I just pray that I am good enough now to master the controls, or actually be invested enough in the story to do it. But there's nothing worse than being invested in a story and not progressing just because something with the game is like flawed.
Yeah, it's not fair for the player.
Or you know, just smoothing out the controls. Because anybody who's played, I mean, Unity was shit, and the multiplayer could have been so good as well if they'd have just put more time into it. You know, but you know, they were making Syndicate at the same time. I swear it was like Syndicate and Unity at the same time. Syndicate, great game, platinumed it. It was a great game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I just wish Unity could have held its own against it.
It could have, but I think it's kind of
But with the microtransactions as well, like because obviously, yeah, it felt very neglected. I like Arno's story. I love the idea of the Templars and the Assassins working together.
Yeah, it's a fresh breath of air, you know, instead of being, oh, Templar's bad, Assassin's good.
Just wish. I don't know, the gameplay, man. It's hard to explain.
No, it ruins it. It makes it more difficult than it needs to be, because at that point you're no longer, the consequences are no longer in your control.
Yeah, it ruins the immersion. You know, you want to do something. The person you're playing as does the complete opposite thing. It ruins the immersion.
Dude, it's like trying to listen to music through buggy headphones. Like you're trying to enjoy it, but you just can't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It might be the best song in existence. You know, it might be a 12-piece masterpiece. But if you're playing through shitty headphones, you're not going to want to listen to it.
Never.
But yeah, I guess enough said about that. We could go on for hours with that topic, but like, damn, man.
Yeah.
It's a deadly tangent. Now,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've actually run out of topics on the list, so go ham.
You've been like this for an hour. You do have to be like this for nearly an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, fuck it. We'll go forever. It's 3 hours stream.
3 hours? Nah, people are gonna get sick of us by that point, man.
I think the only thing we could do as a mini topic is Christmas music is creeping.
Oh,
it's creeping.
Actually, yeah, that's the Christmas is seeping in.
It's going into memes. It's going on the radio. It's going. Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé have come out of their fucking hellhole.
Channel 5 playing all the shit Christmas movies. Dude, my mum eats those up. You know, I was going downstairs to get a drink just before this stream, and I hear like the Carol of the Bells, or like the most Christmassy song, the most Christmassy jingle you could imagine, and I poke my nose in, and it's like elves, like literally, it's just as if someone took me by my shoulders, wrenched my mouth open, put a funnel down it, and just poured Christmas crap down my. It was like being physically assaulted by Santa and a candy cane. It's. And like, I don't even understand. Like, are we even doing Christmas this year? I mean, I assume we are. That's like Christmas is not getting cancelled because of COVID, but
it's a COVID-19
like,
Christmas.
Kids, like, a COVID-19 Christmas. Imagine having kids and having to explain to them, "Mummy, Daddy, are the elves socially distancing in the factories?" And like, well, kids, elves are actually immune.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, I
The
mean,
elves are anti-vaxxers.
I think we all know that Santa doesn't exist, realistically.
What? Don't say that on the stream, bro. 9-year-olds watch this. Don't say that.
I mean, bro, come on.
I think, you know, we are doing Christmas, but Big Man Boris is going to come to our house to make sure that we ain't got Granny over as a sneak peek guest.
Yeah, otherwise he's going to two-foot her into the oven while she's making the sprouts.
Guys, how much you want to bet there'll be a Facebook post by a Facebook mum? It'll be like, guys, don't burn the turkeys this year. They're microchipping it with the COVID vaccine if you don't want your kids vaccinated.
God, I'd actually cry.
I have a vegetarian Christmas every year. It's depressing. Imagine having a nut roast.
That's suicidal, bro.
I
A nut
can't.
roast
I don't eat
instead
meat
of
and
a-
I don't even... Fuck nut roasts. All my homies hate nut roasts. I don't even eat meat. I don't eat that shit. I just get some fake, like, vegan sausage. It's
I'll
so
tell you
much
what, though, I
better.
make some mean pigs in blankets, man. Ooh.
With some nut roast.
But yeah, no, I feel like it's too early for Christmas.
It's
Way too
November.
early. I mean, it's November. You know, sure, it's a month away for some people, but when I'm sat down for dinner and my mum hits me with, "Yo, what do you want for Christmas?"
Okay, no, but that I
It's
get
too
because
early.
no, that I get because it's like, you know, you want to do before Christmas sales, and obviously with COVID, you don't know if, you know, fucking delivery is gonna be fucking mental. You know, if lockdown doesn't ease up by Christmas, that I get, you know, but people who fucking put up Christmas decorations or playing fucking Christmas music and movies, you're just gonna go, shut up, please. It's November.
There is one thing I'm excited for. It's the one time of year where I get to break out my untraditional Christmas playlist. And if I don't know if anybody's interested, we can link it in the description for this stream.
Stop promoting your playlist.
No, it's I'm not. It's a Christmas playlist, all right. I like it. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. I shouldn't be, but I am.
It is good from what the few songs you showed me. It is quite good. It's something you want to do. Like, if you could go to your family's like, oh, like, can I play like music this year? And they go, yeah, sure, of course.
Oh, that's my plan. I'm gonna put it on a CD.
I don't think you. Okay. I mean, you
I'm
could.
gonna give it to people for Christmas as a Christmas
as
gift.
a gift. As a gift, you can't sell it. Technically.
No, I can't. I wouldn't sell it anyway. It's illegal.
There we go. I'm just gonna play it to piss off
Make
my
them
very.
peace.
You know, I'm gonna play it just to piss off my very religious neighbours, and the fact
Oh
that
man, do it. I'll send you the link.
Please do. I'm gonna put the fucking speaker right in the back door and just blast it out for like my whole neighbourhood to hear. Because my whole neighbourhood pisses me off. Their kids
I think
are
my
so
personal favourite is Last Christmas, but shitty fluted.
Oh, so good. I can't wait now. It's gonna be a very. This is gonna be a very interesting Christmas, I think, especially with the UK's lockdown rules. I think it's gonna be quite.
Well, I mean, if the high street was fucked last year, I don't know if anyone remembers the ads you used to get saying support your local high street. Because basically, online shopping had basically made high street shopping pretty much obsolete, and that was last year. Like, if with COVID and online shopping, we might not have high streets anymore, boys. Or at least very few shops are gonna survive this winter.
Yeah, but I don't know. It depends, like, what Big Man Boris wants to do with the lockdown. You know, because
Yeah,
Well, this
man, Big Man
vaccine
Boris.
might be our saving grace.
Oh yeah, but 5-inch needles, no thank you.
Yeah, potentially 5-inch needles.
5 inch.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
a thing to do with that. This vaccine needs to go direct into the bloodstream, so it'll be a 5-inch needle to the thigh.
Oh, it's like an EpiPen. That's fine. I've had that before.
What, 5-inch long needle?
Hang on, just put out a ruler.
Just so that's the length of the Just pull your dick out, Amy. It's fine. It's just that's the length of the not the that's just the length of the needle going in your leg, not of the whole thing.
Oh fuck that! What the fuck? What about like really skinny people? That's just gonna go through some people's thighs.
Yeah, exactly. So thick thighs will literally save lives.
You're gonna stick it in my leg and it's gonna come out the other side and squirt on the chair. That's what's gonna happen to me.
Got a little sexual.
But yeah, some people they're trying to make them smaller currently, but that's how big the ones are at the moment.
You know what I hope they do? You know what, I'd only fucking do it if it's gonna have got like an EpiPen where they just press it and then it just injects. So they're not gonna fucking have the whole needle ready.
No, they're gonna smack it into your leg like thwop.
Dude,
Sure, just wake me up when September ends.
Do you remember?
To be fair though, I would probably just take something just to scream into, you know.
Well, they're working on a drinkable version at the moment. Literally, you down a pint.
Yeah,
no, generally you
you
down a pint of vaccine before you go out with the boys. Like, it's
shots.
get the Stellas in. I've downed my vaccine. No, but it's going to be an injection, and if it works, it works.
That
Otherwise,
would be one hell of a way to end a COVID. Like, imagine we've been in lockdown for this long.
everyone's just lining up pints of vaccine.
Everyone's down the pub just necking vaccine and just like singing and cheering.
Everyone's gonna be cheering. It's probably gonna taste like arse. It's gonna be an injection. Like that's most likely just never gonna happen. But it's what one of the government advisors was saying. It was like it's not realistically possible. So it's gonna be an injection. But I won't lie, boys. I think we're coming to an end.
Yeah,
I think we're good, man.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel right now. So I think we shall end it here. And I think before we ended it by saying our who we think is going to win Game of the Year. So I think we'll end it on a similar note. But who do you think had the best song of the year?
Ooh.
Me, obviously.
Lewis King Lilith. Okay, good shout. Good shout.
Amy.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. I fucking love that man. I would simp for that man.
That is a tune. I'm not even a huge Weeknd fan, but I can't deny how much of a banger that song is.
Things I don't really keep up with new releases, but his is definitely like the thing is with artists, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I find it hard to like really like multiple albums by one artist. But The Weeknd, oh man, just I'd simp. What about you, Lewis?
Do you know what? I've only discovered it recently, but I think I've got to go with Joker by Dax. It's probably one of the most solid rap songs I've seen in a hot minute. Really enjoy it. I think that's a good way to end. Thank you very much for listening, guys, to the second episode of the Lonely Hours of the Boys podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, we'll see you guys whenever. In a bit.
Right, bye guys.